Students, Mihan, I am Dr. Roman Pawlak, and I will be your instructor in this course, The Principles of Nutrition, Summer 2021. On behalf of myself, the University Administration, and my teaching assistant, welcome everyone. In this recording, I will give you a brief overview of what this course will be about, okay? Let's begin right now. I included my picture here so you can see what I look like. You have my name, Roman Pawlak. I am a professor of nutrition. My full-time job is actually at East Carolina University, where I've been teaching nutrition for almost 20 years. You have my contact information. I also included the name and contact information for my teaching assistant, Sunny. I understand that Sunny is proficient in Chinese, so when you correspond with her, it's up to you whether you correspond in English or in Chinese, okay? Before I go into the specific about the course, I want to briefly talk to you about why studying diet/nutrition is important. On this slide, you see the leading causes of mortality in the United States where I live. Those that I underlined are related to diet and nutrition. Heart disease is the leading cause, cancer, but we have other stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and so on. On this slide here, I included the leading causes of mortality in Taiwan. And again, here are those that are diet-related, nutrition-related, malignant neoplasms, that means cancer. Not all cancers are diet-related, but many are. I don't mean that diet is the only factor that impacts the development and dying of these diseases, but it is an important factor, okay? Diet is very important in prevention and or management of these health conditions. So I'm hoping not only that you will learn a lot of information and what you learn will help you to get a good grade at the end of the semester, but also that perhaps what you will learn will help you to make good choices in terms of how healthy or unhealthy your diet may be, okay? In this course, we will be learning a lot of different information. All of this information are elementary or basic information about nutrition, and they will include studying digestion and metabolism of nutrients. We will also emphasize some nutrient recommendation. We will talk about the role the nutrients play in human growth, anatomy, physiology, disease prevention. We will be looking at specific life stages. What I mean by that is being pregnant is a life stage, being an infant is a life stage, being elderly is a life stage, okay? So we will be looking at specific dietary recommendations and dietary needs, nutritional needs in different life stages. And special emphasis will be placed on chronic health conditions prevention. Chronic health conditions are those that we already mentioned, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, okay? Those are the conditions that are also the leading causes of death in many societies, both developed and developing countries. In the syllabus, which you can access on eLearn, you will find about 10 or so different objectives listed. Here I only included 2 just to mention that there are specific course objectives, and the content of what I will be sharing with you will be consistent with these objectives. I invite you to log into eLearn, access this course, and download the syllabus. I will ask my teaching assistant, Sunny, to give you a brief overview of eLearn, how to access different information, different sources such as the syllabus, for example. So if you have never used one, you will know how to navigate it, okay? Textbook. You may be used to purchasing textbooks for different classes that you're taking. You will not have to do that for this course. This is because I have written the textbook for you and I am making it available for you free of charge. Yeah! On eLearn, you will find a PDF file with this textbook, and I will sometimes be referring to it as a textbook, other times as a course pack. A course pack is the same as a textbook, at least for this particular class, okay? Grading, this is something every student is interested in, okay? So first let me state that I have adopted for this course the university accepted grades in terms of what will constitute an A and B and C and so on your final, as your final grade and on your transcript. I have adopted this table from a syllabus that was sent to me, and I'm not sure if this is a typo. Notice the very last grade here listed is E. In the United States where I teach, we use the different letter F, which stands for failed, okay? And perhaps in Taiwan you use E, I'm not sure. But what E or F means is that you did not pass the course, which I hope will not be the case for any of you. In fact, notice receiving 80 or above will constitute A, and I hope that all of you really, truly will get an A, and I know that all of you are capable of receiving A as your final grade. Speaking of the final grade, what or how do you obtain a good grade, and what will you be graded on? Notice that we will have exams in this class, quizzes, as well as one assignment. You will have 4 exams, and all of these 4 exams together will account for 50% of the final grade, okay? In a moment, I will show you a little bit more details about the exams. Let's turn into quizzes. Quizzes, you will have 18 of them. You will have each quiz based on each chapter of the course pack reading. Both exams as well as quizzes are available on eLearn, and they will be available for a period of time. And so you will have specific deadlines, and you will have perhaps 4 days to a week or so, for taking an exam and or quizzes. Again, in a moment, I will share with you a little bit more about quizzes. You will also have one assignment, as I mentioned, which will be worth 15% of the final grade. In a moment, a little bit more about that. Let's turn into the exams. As I mentioned, you will have more than 1 exam, specifically 4 exams. Let me tell you about exams in this course. All of the exams are cumulative or comprehensive exams. What do I mean by that? Let's look at column number 2, or the second column here, called content. Notice exam will be based on all lectures from week 1, my lectures that I recorded for you, as well as course pack reading of chapter 1 to chapter 4, okay? When we look at exam 2 will not be based only on lectures from week 2 and quizzes from quiz 5 to 8. No, exam 2 will be based on all lectures from both the first and the second week, as well as all chapters from the first to the last chapter that you will be reading for in week 1 and week 2. So that's what I mean by comprehensive or cumulative, okay? The same goes, notice, for exam number 3, and then the final is based on all lectures and all chapters from the course pack reading, okay? Let me further state that These are again online based, e-learn based exams. Therefore, you can take them from the convenience of your home, dormitory room, wherever you might be at the moment, as long as you have internet access. Okay? This also means that because parts or some of the questions will be based on the course pack reading, that you can have course pack available. You can have it open and you can look up some questions. In fact, I'm hoping that you will be taking notes from my lectures and you can have those notes, okay? This is not like a face-to-face exam in a classroom where you may not be allowed to use any written material. No, you can look up the questions. Having said that, I must tell you that you will have specific time period, 1 hour or so, for each of the exams. And so if you have not studied, if you didn't retain any information, and if you are hoping that you will be able to find answers to all 50 questions on each of the exams, it will not be possible to do so. So, there may be a few harder questions that you may want to look up the answer in your notes and or course pack, but many questions you need to be able to recall and answer relatively quickly in order for you to take the exam within the time allowed. It is you will have plenty of time if you know the material, okay? There will be adequate. In fact, the average time for taking the exams in my courses is usually a few minutes less than the time allowed. So you don't need to be worried about whether or not you have enough time if you studied adequately before taking the exam. Notice that the exams will be available. These dates will be Fridays. So July 30 is Friday. And I can't remember whether I selected Monday or Tuesday as the date by which you have to take the exam. I always encourage students not to wait until the last day and the evening of that day, but take it perhaps a day earlier or maybe in the morning. If there is a problem like the internet outage, you don't have to worry then about it, okay? And so and put these periods for exam 1, exam 2, and so on in your calendars. Each exam is worth something different for the final exam. The first one is just 5% of the final, not exam rather, but the final grade, okay? 10% of the final grade, 15 and 20. Quizzes, 18 quizzes, and I divided them into weeks. So in week 1, you will have 4 quizzes based on the first 4 chapters in the course pack. And so the quizzes, these 4 quizzes should be already available to you, and they will be available until Friday of this week, okay? And then you will have quizzes 5 through 8 in the second, 9 through 12 in the third, and so on. You can see that. Please note that for both quizzes and exams, the deadline is midnight of Beijing time of the day that are listed in this column here. I suggest that you actually access quiz 1 as you start reading chapter 1. And then perhaps you read a question and see if you can find the answer to that question. Another important information to mention is that exams will only be available for you 1 time. However, quizzes will be available to you 3 times. So if you have taken the quiz and you received, say, 80, you are not satisfied, you want to receive 100, say, you can have another attempt. You can have 3 attempts for each of the quizzes, and the highest grade that you received will count toward the final grade. So if the grade from the last attempt was just 80, but the grade from the previous attempt was 90, 90 will count toward the final grade, okay? All right, the last thing is the assignment. It's called diet analysis and healthy eating index. You see the deadline here, August 23. It's worth 15% of the final grade. This assignment is based on a specific dietary recommendation, which we call My Plate recommendations. If you are not familiar with it, do not worry. I will be discussing My Plate recommendations in one of the lectures. I would like to encourage you to look up the instructions for completing this assignment, which are in a separate document on eLearn. But I would like you to wait until I discuss My Plate recommendations in one of the lectures. After I discuss it, which will be this week, okay? You are welcome to access this information, and you can already start working on the exam. Please be advised that you will be asked to record everything you eat and drink for a period of time. So working on this assignment half a day or so before the deadline is not a good idea. You need to start working on it earlier. You will see that in the guidelines or instructions for completing this assignment, I will have specific grading criteria. You make sure when you submit the assignment that all the criteria listed in the grading criteria found in your assignment, because you will be graded based on those criteria, okay? Very important information. Always use print screen feature on the keyboard, or if you are using, say, a tablet or another device to take the exam or submit the quiz, use your cell phone and take a picture. Whether you had a problem, for example, internet outage, while you were taking an exam, or simply when you get a confirmation that you have submitted an exam, okay? Take a picture so you have a record. If you have taken an exam and I have no record of it, I don't see in eLearn that you have taken one, you will be able to prove to me that you have taken the exam, okay? And that's really all that I wanted to share with you. Welcome one more time. I'm looking forward to working with you, and I'm hoping that everyone will enjoy the information and everyone will do well. Welcome one more time. Thank you.